think that's part of what made me want to study linguistics, because I knew the things that I would learn in linguistics, I can take that into other words. You know what I'm saying? I could actually be a college professor. You know what I'm saying? I could teach ESL and do all these other things with that degree.
Right. So, I mean, so what you doing now?
So currently I go to a school called BMCC in downtown Mecca. And right now I'm getting my associates in linguistics, and then I'm gonna transfer to a 4-year college to get my bachelor's. Then I'm gonna get my master's after that.
So you're gonna be good. You're gonna be good. Especially all right, so now you still at BMCC. You're gonna finish up this.
Nah, I just started this year.
All right, so you got another year. So you see what I'm saying? So if you do that, if you build, you know what I'm saying, and keep in tune, by the time you're ready with that BA, you'll be in a position so you won't have to go in on the entry level. You do the knowledge beforehand and the research and so that you start off on like a better school, like you said. Otherwise, you don't want the little compared to hustling, like the little corner hand shit. You know, that type of English teacher, where you just in like the public schools or whatever. You don't want that. Or after school, something you might want to get up into something comfortable at school. With that degree, it can work out much better. You know what I'm saying? We can talk, especially if you got a little literature or something with it. Because you got the linguistics, it's definitely language or something.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't know. We can do the knowledge. This is what I'm always wanting someone who. Otherwise, I got knowledge of how to survive out there, but they don't have no one to really pass it on to. So it's like useless. You know what I'm saying? So, like, in fact, like the whole situation, like I took care of the thing with the she's out. Anyway, so I could help him with a certain thing because he needed like it was I think a medical thing or whatever.
Okay.
But they sold it out there.
Okay.
So it was hard for him to get it. It was what Jamel told me about.
Okay.
So then he was like, yo, God, I know you out there, here's the God's math or whatever. Oh, yeah, she's
Right. So you built with him, like, you went
a little something, you know what I mean? He was going through other things. We didn't really get to, he's not around right now. Well, anyway, so I could do it, we jumped on it, me and the Earth, we jumped on it. We could make those phone calls and get it for a much better price. Found the other, we're going to go with this dealer right here.
Right.
Because he was buying the one, we could get him in the packs.
Right.
For, the wholesale price.
You know what? See, that's why I enjoy building with you, God, because like as I always told you, like you being in that part of the world, us being here, it's about a support system.
Right.
That support system is important. You know what I'm saying? Like so, if they're trying to bang us in the head with certain prices over here, you can get it for a certain way. You know what I mean? Like you deal with it over there in a certain way. So. Yeah, that's an important thing of us. And then the guards, you talk about traveling out that way. Like my young guys talk about traveling out that way. So, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's how all of them things, we got all of them kind of experience, what you got to do for your paperwork. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause you got to get, with your passports, your visas, your residence permit, your work permit, all of these. Like, I already got all that. We already been through that every different way. You know what I'm saying? And then, like, the different kind of English teaching jobs is out there, what you can look for. Some is going to be better than others. Like I'm telling you, it's like hustling. Some is on the corner. You don't want to be in the corner. You at least want to be in the spot or even better. You know what I mean? Had to use that example. There's different things out there because, you know what I mean? Definitely. So, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'll make sure I connect. Keep me in tune. Let me know your plans. Like, right now, every stage you're at, we doing this, we doing this. You know what I mean? This the guy right here.
That's the guy that gave him knowledge.
Yeah, Peace, God.
Y'all ready? Y'all finish your classes?
I'm gonna do like a little, interview and whatnot.
Yeah.
You wanna add on?
I've been telling them.
No, there's some bills if you online, dog.
I know, bro.
Okay, some good bills. You don't wanna. It's alright, it's peace, God.
I say if I do that, God, then more and more people want to talk. If I open my mouth more, God, bro, you be angry at me and shit. Just like Rashid might ask me, because he wanted to put me in archives and shit, because he was interviewing all the older guys. He had asked me, you know, what did the nation do for me and shit. No, see, he said the wrong words. He should have said, what did the knowledge do for me? If he had asked me that, then it would have been different. Because the knowledge gave me stand up to all the motherfucking bullies in the whole nine and shit, God. See, first you get knowledge, then you go through wisdom, then you have understanding. See, once you understand, you know, nobody can mess with you no more. But before you get to understanding, you know, it's like zigzag zig. You got to go through all this crazy shit with different brothers, different sisters, different people, whatever. And most likely, most of us don't recover from that. That's why I say many shall come in the field and chosen. See, we were blessed with knowledge, God. There's nobody else in the world, you know, nobody else in the world gave knowledge to the children except for the Father. Study. Everybody in each country was given the truth. That's why they were able to control the majority of the people in the country. They was given the truth. But nobody never gave it to the children. Because you're not supposed to give knowledge to your children, God. You're supposed to wait till they get to a certain age. When they get to a certain age, they already got the basics. They know how to cook and all that shit. Us, we didn't have shit, God. Everybody else had it before us. Masons had it, Muslims had it, different professors had it. Everybody else had it in each country except for the children. And the reason why you don't give it to the children is, look at us. Look what we're doing with this knowledge. Look what we're doing to the most greatest thing in the world. Look what other people did with it. They use it, you know, to manipulate other people, use them as a tool of slave rather than live in luxury. And look what we're doing. We have no power like that. We're given the power, but we're not manifesting it because the wisdom is the way. We're not manifesting it. All we're doing is studying. Most people are going to study. And as time goes along, then people going to start to live it out. Because right now it's only a few. But there's many that got knowledge all over. In each city, right, there's more people got knowledge to me than almost more people benefit, more people understand. Because see, when they got knowledge, they wasn't children. They wasn't thugs. They wasn't thieves. They was working people. When other people got knowledge, but when these people got knowledge, when we got knowledge in the city, brothers didn't have no 9 to 5, nothing like that. Brothers was hustling in the street and stuff like that. So when they got knowledge, they supposed to have got jobs, went to school and stuff like that. But they didn't. So now you see stagnate. Now you see us walking around peace, the black man God, and still stealing and stuff like that at the same time. So now it's a conflict. But we know God don't do that. So why is God doing this here? Because he still haven't learned. A lot of us love the devil because the devil give us nothing. That's what it's saying in our degree. We have to love the devil doing the things that the devil do. Because we didn't love that, we do things that God do. What do God do? God tell the truth. We build, we add on. We deal with the children and things of that nature. If you don't deal with the children, God, you ain't gonna have no future. Your children grow up ignorant. But if you deal with the children, then you got a future. Now all children ain't gonna be right now. Many shall come in the few gonna be chosen. But the one that's chosen is strong enough to lead everybody else. Something always happened in the United States to make these people go to war. And the United States always start war with somebody else to make the people here get angry so they can go to war and send their children to war and die. No, that's why we don't deal with wars. We don't deal with that. When I went to service, when I went to service,
We gonna build God.
look at him.
Why you neglect me?
Why you neglect? I don't neglect you, God. I don't neglect you. Peace.
You give me no more?
We gonna build. I'm here.
All right, let me go. I was passing through. I had to stop by and give you on the green.
Yeah, we got.
I'm gonna give you a call, man.
Oh, yeah? Oh, beautiful.
That's the father. You got children from Japan.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Call me.
I'm gonna give you a call. Peace.
Wait, this year or next year?
This year, I'm gonna give you a call.
That's right. Stay on. Stay on.
He's good. What's your physical degree?
88. Bill.
88. Bill.
He's the oldest in here.
He's
Bill.
Look at that.
He's
He's taking care of yourself. Looking good, though. Looking sharp.
Vegetarian is the key.
That's right.
How to eat to live.
You know that.
You all know that. Hey, listen. Once God got the knowledge, He know what to do now.
Look at that.
Peace.
Come on now. So like I say, we know the words, God. We speak the words every day. Peace, God. Peace, God. This is the only country in the world that you can come on the corner and hear the black man is God. Everybody else, you gotta go to temples, you gotta go to churches, you gotta go to hidden places and shit to get this knowledge. But here, You can go right on the corner and get this knowledge. Stand right there and ask the person a question, and they give you the whole history of the original man. This is why we study. We study to give knowledge to all human families on the planet Earth. We're not anti-white nor pro-black. See, we have to understand, see, this is the only civilization in the world that went through a lot of turmoil. But we are the only ones who's going through this here that's been stripped of everything. There's nobody in the world like us, not even ourselves. We fight amongst ourselves. That's how serious this is. So we got the knowledge now. We see what we're going to do with it. Right now, we teach it all human families on planet Earth without falling a victim. Even though a lot of us still love the devil because the devil gives us nothing, that's why we got these little classes, whatever. But as time goes, the earth going to be clean and clean and clean. Because what goes around comes back around. If the earth was clean before, it's going to be clean in the end. Just like there was no devilishment on the planet, but it was still negative, but there was no devilishment on the planet. So now we got to clean the planet up, because we are the one who messed it up. And we gave somebody the power to do the job. We gave the devil the power to do the job, because we couldn't do it ourselves. Because the law is just as true. There's no unrighteousness within them. I can't go out there and fight these people like that, but I got to send my other people out there. I give them knowledge to do that. Now your job is to take the devil off the planet without falling victim. And if you fall victim, don't worry about it. Everybody's not going to make it. But you still part of the body. Arm, leg, arm, head. You're still part of the body. And we all going to move as one. But right now, it looks like it's stagnated. And it is stagnated. Because we're just waking up. We like the Walking Dead. We wake up, we want brains, but we don't know how to use the brains. But we still have it. After God, Dave Mathematics understand. He still know. So he still pass it on. He passed it on to ones who don't know. God passed it on to me. 2 years after that, he died of AIDS. But he gave it to me in 1976. And I took the baton and I ran with it. I ain't stopped. I ran with it. I don't want to run no 60 yards. I don't want to run no 80 yards. I want to run 100 yards. Just like in football. I want to run all 100 yards just to get that extra point. The extra point make it 7. That 100 make it 6. But I want the extra point. I don't want to stop at 6. I want the extra one. And the only way I can get that is maybe build a ball without letting none of y'all make me fall a victim. Because all of y'all is pulling energy from the original man that's speaking. Whether y'all know it or not. Y'all pulling energy from yourself, you're pulling energy from your children. And when you pull this energy, you got to make sure you give it back. Because they need it more than us. We're only going to be here for a short time. They're going to be way after us. And they're going to go through more hell than us. But that's the way it is right now. Can't do it no more, God.
Yeah, you got a seat, man. Take his pressure. Take his pressure, yeah.
Please, God. Appreciate that, God.
Yo, God.
Appreciate that, God.
Yeah.
No, that's because he usually don't do that.
No, he gave it.
I think he did that because
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? You had, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm proud of you.
Yeah, you did the thing. Yeah, that was excellent, man. I can't commend, man. I'm like coming down off of that, man.
You see
know?
where I come from, though. You see
Yeah,
where I
yeah.
come from. I mean, all the guns, man. Najee don't play. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that for hours and hours and hours in his rest. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
how it was for me back in the day. Because I couldn't come to the school. I was either out the country or I was out of the state. So anytime I have a chance to come in now, why in the parliament, I stop by Najee's rest. You know what I mean? And just, you know what I mean? And Najee just for hours and hours, just like that. You know what I mean? When he was younger, he was kind of winded right there. Yeah, no.
Is the queen, the mother around?
Yeah, God, and she didn't come this trip.
Okay.
You know what I mean? She's still back there. I got more babies, but, you know, and she got the other ones over there.
Okay, got you. Peace, God.
We got younger ones.
Nah, these are the youngest.
These are the youngest,
You know what I
okay.
mean? But the other ones are still in school right now, so she's there with them.
Great, God. Great, man. Great. It's important, man. I couldn't stress enough. You know, we started, we were only, again, man, our history best serves our hands full. we were a handful, and you know, just like Allah and his 5%, it was like 9 of them, you know, and others that were around. And you only encompassed this area here. Now there's nowhere you can go in the world without saying peace and not being recognized. Right. So it shows our growth greatly, you know, in our rise with this knowledge and wisdom, where we are now. You know, so and then to have your children come there, you know, like, you know, right, and we're one people, right? So, you know, okay, saying this righteously and understand, see, because when you have knowledge of you, you know everybody around you. See, because everybody thinks like, that was a very good build you gave to reiterate again with your daughter with showing her, you know, and she knew, you know, you just want to kind of navigate, get her back to that point, you know, with understanding, you know, there are differences with different things, absolutely, but with people, especially your own, there aren't. And yes, no, I don't speak Japanese. No, I don't speak Chi, all these other languages, you know, but we're all one people. You know what I mean? You just have to learn the culture. You know what I mean? Because we're all tied in. Yeah.
And like, the way we express ourselves may be different, but the understanding allows us to see where it all correlates. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
Underlying similarities.
Great. You're young
like,
guy. Okay.
Even when I was in Trinidad, like, of course, it's a different experience. It's different people. It's different, like, roads and streets. But the strip still looks like Harlem. There's still people on the corner selling what they selling, jewelry, whether it's they hustling, doing what they doing. You know what I'm saying? Or they listen to drill music. You know what I'm saying? So I even see the influence that we have over here, over there. You know what I'm saying? How everything just correlates at the end of the day. And that's the best part. So, you know, see, there is no separation between anything. I see the whole.
No, in most of them countries, most of the places, see, other than that one trip I went to Europe just recently, that was in the last year or two, but mostly where I be in Asia or Southeast Asia or whatever, any country where I go, at least one time is gonna be where they gonna mistake me.
Peace, God. I'm here. How you doing? Peace, God.
Peace, God. See how wise, man.
Peace.
I'm from Medina originally.
Watch Supreme Allah. Medina.
He's from Japan, though. He's visiting from Japan.
You visiting from Japan?
Yeah, indeed, God.
All right.
And I just saw the last one. I'm also, you know, my father's Puerto Rican too, God. You know what I mean? So, you know, I'm inherited that way too.
I'm the first.
Yeah, indeed. And I just watched that last video that y'all did the song, God.
Here you go. Yeah, I would stay a little longer, but my lady's hungry.
Okay, yeah. Well, that's what I was doing tonight. That's what I'm here doing. I was doing this.
You saw the videos?
Yeah.
The last ones, yeah, we at the restaurant, right? Where we sung, God, indeed.
That's just some.
Yeah, and especially when the one you said the father said, y'all both right. You know what I mean? That one hit me hard. Like, see, I mean.
Cause see, the worst thing we could do is try to teach each other. We could build with each other. That's not teaching each other. Building with each other, and we both learn. Right. But when you try to teach each other on a different understanding, we all got to understand. Sometimes you see how you see it, he see how he see it. That don't mean that, you know, you both wrong. You both right. It's just that you both right in your own way. Right. What you see, that's your side. And your side.
And your perspective from where you see it from.
And your perspective.
Right.
So I'm gonna leave it alone for now. I say peace of the nation, peace.
Peace, God. Peace, God.
Yeah, oh, that's peace. Hey, man, everybody's like it's like a walk of Spain right here. Everybody
Boy, that's it. Yeah, right there. That was dope, though. Peace.
who else gonna come?
Peace. All right, yourself. All right.
Peace.
Peace.
How are you? Peace. How are you, Queen? Peace. Let's see how wise.
I'm Allah infinite.
Yeah, because I'm hungry.
All right, peace. Yeah. Nah, this is kind of like you said, the Walk of Spain, like kind of like the area where, you know, everything comes through here. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you come here and visit here. It's like, you know, you get, you know, bringing the peace and you're also getting the peace.
And Born Power, I was right there. I was sitting right there. Doc Kim was right up here, sitting here teaching. You know what I mean? That was my first class ever. Like, you know, I just knew like, okay. I'm gonna talk too much. Ask you a question. No, I don't know. Like,
I built with the God. The God said, when he's kind of funny about things being formal. Like, damn, like, you know, but he was just more intrigued about like, yo, like, I want to know about what the God is seeing out there. Like, true. You ain't got to get nothing from me. It's like, you already know that you God. Like, you know that. Like, now tell me how you add it on out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's definitely. But you know, first, like I said, this is one way. Like, brothers need to come through or whatever. Like, I can plug in. I could, you know what I mean? Whatever way I can, you know, whatever way I can add on, contribute something. Someone else who's been out there. You know what I mean?
That's peace, though. That's peace.
One of my features too I wanted to do was have some of the older guards come in and give their account of history. You know what I mean? But because of the pandemic, that kind of like stymied things for a minute. So we stopped. And then when we regrouped, I want to do that too, but then I do God, that was the highlight of our moment today because it's about the youth. You know, your age and younger. It was about, you know, getting passing the baton, you know. But one of the things is, what are you passing them? Okay, the class is good because we need that formally, you know, for the purpose of education, you know. But then the babies, you know, when they come here, okay, all right, now listen to you know what I'm saying. Now that's their language. So you know, but how do you take that and then make that a teachable moment? You know what I mean? Now that, because of how they're taught, you know, you're able to gauge their attention, you know, or the attention of other people like God. No disrespect, you know, he got up there and he wanted to, he was explaining what wisdom was. And, oh, it's, you know, like infamous saying what you want to speak in a language that's understood by them. You know what I mean? You know, we're not trying to popularize and, you know, we just, you know, it's always about teaching. Because when you do that, then you're raising the awareness of someone, you know, and, you know, you're showing them the point of education, you know, because the root word education means to bring out. So you want to bring out of them, you know, the what's best, you know. So, and you know, again, the 5%, man, that's one of our highlighted, you know, everything subjectively shown improved. But to come back to your question, you know, what made me, because again, you know, you're always giving back, but you're giving back in a manner that would help the people. You know what I mean? You know, again, a lot of people, you know, at one point, one of the root reasons to was because we used to come here, Born Black and all of us, every other Saturday or Saturday, and we sit and just quote 120. Because a lot of times, I mean, usually the course of our days or weeks, whatever, you know, we may not be as sharp as you know. So we always quote. You know, no, how do you put it? No, hurting somebody because they don't know their lesson. You know, it's okay, God. You know, we're there. You know, I get it. You know, and then interesting, you'll find also, which is always interesting, the variations of what's in your degree and what's in mine. You know what I mean? You know, so you know, it's deep. It's deep, but. Yeah, so, and that's important in the school, you know, that you have a class, but you have a class though that's engaging the minds of the people, you know what I mean, so they know. So that was, you know, my reason for that. I hope I answered your question. Okay. That time was here, you was here and building with them. I said, okay, my man, why is here? That's okay, great, you came in.
You know, time you taught the class?
Yeah. I was
that was peace.
Yes, man, because it's okay, that's good, you know, and people enjoyed that. See, and another thing, it's not about, I was unable to. You know, God, would you, I think I called you and asked you, would you be able to come down or whatever? You know, I got you, yeah, you know, you did. I let people know, listen, man, God, why going to be on the class now, and, you know. And you and others like you know, we teach from because I care. You know, it's not because I want to be vain. You know, because you get that too. You know, you get the people, oh, I'm only teaching because, you know, I want to be seen. You know what I mean? You know, like you know, some pop, you know, Law Real, my man, this is not a popularity contest. This is real. This science is real, man. You gotta know what you're saying to people, man. You know what you're saying to them, people in general. And then you gonna have people coming here. They ain't coming to this class. I found also. I ain't come here to be a 5%er, but I came here because I heard. And I know y'all got the knowledge though. I want to listen. You know, and what's important is that if it's nothing else, you know, one of the what's characteristic of the 85% is that they don't know their origin in this world. You know, that's why quite often I center on history, because history is important to us like roots are to a tree. You know what I mean? People need to know that. You know, so yeah, people need to, you know, people need to know their history. The history of this, definitely, of the 5%, but then history, well, you know, our journey. You know,
And how it relates to
who
all
we are.
people.
Huh?
How it relates to all people.
Yes, you go. You're right, God. Right. Good point. Thank you for that. You know what I mean? It's purpose of discussion. See, I've been on another point. Yeah, that's why Allah said we're not anti-white or pro-black. However, I have a cultural commitment to my people because I know they were damaged. But I had white men look like Orville Rettenbucker coming here, right? That was the popcorn man. That's right here. You know, and was sharp. Came in, how you doing? Yeah, you doing? Yeah, man. Peace, yeah, peace to the God. Know the language, and he just went in. I know who I am in relationship to this, but you know, I understood, right, the word all. The all is welcome to come here. You know, I know who I am in who you are in the first degree and who he was in the second degree, the 1 to 10 that is. But, you know, I'm not hating you because you're white though. I'm not going to emulate the ways of the slave master. You know? Even though, I mean, that's, coming up, that's kind of hard to tell somebody to digest after going through what we're going through, what we went through, and then what we're going through now. You know what I mean? But still, you know, I mean, we teach all human families. You know, I've sat in a platform with nothing but Hasidic Jews. I'm the only black dude there. You know what I mean? And we're having a mean conversation. Because it started with just helping, I was helping one of their cousins navigate through a crisis. Then we just having a conversation. You know what I mean? On closely the subject of all. Because I was sort of in disagreement with, well, you are who you are, I am who I am. Right? Now, yeah, we can get along, absolutely, I'm with that. You know, but yeah, that, like the God was saying, see now, unlike what the God was teaching his daughter, he's talking about we're all the same, you're all the same people in terms of black, brown, and yellow. Right, you go to Japan and China, you go to this place and that place, and we all people. You're looking at people through your lens. But there are differences. There are cultural variations and differences. Like you said, something you said. But you come back to that point of understanding, bringing you back to that one point. You know what I mean? I'm not telling you because you hate, because you're 5%, or you're not Haitian, or you're not Jamaican. That's your ethnicity. You know, I'd be remiss to say that, but we understand the common bond. You know what I mean? You know, I'm not looking at you differently because we're taught that. You know, we're beating the head. Oh yeah, you know, told someone, my African brothers that. You know, so be welcome. You know, but then you know, do their nose up and oh, what you want? No, personally, I don't. You know, it's when you want to verbatimly engage me that's when we gonna go in there. You know, then I'm gonna teach you, man, you know, the God degree. You know what I mean? Why the devil call our people African? And then, ironically, you find that you have to educate them as well. Because, okay, you may know your culture, you know how you eat, what your language you speak and whatever, but then you're disconnected globally. That's why the understanding degree says today, what's the total population of original people or original nation here in the middle of North America, and all over the planet Earth. With the 17 million, put the 2 million Indians, make a total of 19 million. All over the planet Earth, everyone, 4 billion, 400 million, you're telling her, everybody were the same. But later on, you're taught that he's causing separation. See? Baby's the best part, man. She dropped it. You know, I couldn't be, you know, the devil. Yeah, I'm because as long as I got you looking at each other differently, got him. You know what I mean? So then you because again, old saying, you know, God and the devil walk together. You go get his man, I'm gonna get mine. Because we battling for the minds of the people. Right. And make no mistake, I have a healthy respect for this dude. My enemy's formidable. He's nothing to play with. Show and prove, no problem. Why is Muhammad any Muslim murder devil? What's the duty each Muslim regarded for a devil? What rewards is Muslim receive by having been four devils at one time? Because he 100% weak, not keeping the the laws of Islam. His ways and actions is like those of the snake of the graphic type. So we're reminded, you know, of who the devil is, the snake of the grafted type, but then we're also reminded how our own people got stung, right? So his venom is in the blood of a lot of our people, and your blood is a circulatory system, so it's traveling your body. So you living out this manifestation of evilness. So I really take nothing on face value because you have a lot, or you're a brown-skinned, melanated person. You my brother. Nah, that's not necessarily the case. I do see you that way, but there's a lot of things you have to prove. I take nothing on face value. We don't take each other on face value. Right. 5%. Our whole premise is based on peace, God. Who are you? Right. What you know? Where you from? One of the first things I was taught was several things I was taught by Sincere was we meet in the mind first. Then we'll do the handshake and all that. Let me know who you all at, because I don't know you like I may know the God. You know what I mean? I'm just meeting you. Oh, Pete, Pete, who are you? Because in your discerning who he is, you come to find out, oh no, you're not really me. Right. You know, one of the greatest tricks to get you is let me shake your hand and pull you in closer to me. You know what I mean? You know, I'm touching you like that. I know my brother. I could slap him. I know I'm good with him. I don't know you. I'm the God. No, you not. Show and prove. Famous question. Show and prove you God. Wow. Right. But anyway, and again, coming from a day and time also, that's important. Because knowledge looks good on black people, and it's important that you have this knowledge. It's important you have this knowledge, right? But we're not playing no games with it neither. You know, I can say he ain't playing no games with his children. I keep on that. That's the best part, man. That was an honor.
So I wanted to ask the girl, like, what's your experience out in
okay, yeah, that's great. Yeah, great.
My experience, like, what specifically?
Well, I'm saying, like, you know, your experience, like going over, traveling from here and having.
We've been there for a minute.
Yeah, like the culture over here and then going over there. You know what I mean? And then getting the knowledge and how it is in that environment.
Getting the knowledge in that, and like, so growing up here and traveling over there and going over there with knowledge.
Right.
Wow. Yeah, I just want part of something. You feel me?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. I want to show the because like I was saying a little while ago, like I had knowledge. The knowledge I had little bits of it because this was talking the 80s. You know what I'm saying? When it was in the 80s. I mean, I was a little hip hop. You know, we from the same generation, so we come up. You know, it was everywhere. Right here now, why too? You know what I mean? Like, so I got like little sprinklings of knowledge before I moved out to California. I moved out to California when I was like 15. You know what I mean? I had little sprinklings of it. Then going out there, whatever, I got into the roster because that's what I found was out there. But so I was into that. But what happened then when I went abroad, like later on, I came back here and I went abroad. I started traveling. The roster thing wasn't really working for the international because it's more like it fits good. Like if you live in the Caribbean and so on, you know what I mean? Like you can live that lifestyle. And also, at least how I was in it, it was more like biblical and it was more like Afrocentric. I'm now in a different place where the cultural sphere is like, they don't even know what you're talking about. You quote some scripture, that don't mean nothing to them. You know what I mean? And I'm talking about Africa's roots. I couldn't see beyond that.
You couldn't see beyond like talking about like Africa and the roots of Africa.
Right. I couldn't see beyond that. Or like a lot of things too. I find like we being over here, we define our thing like us versus them, like black versus white. But it's much bigger than that. You know what I mean? It's not just. I mean, it's God versus devil, but it's not just this little 500 years thing that we went to over here. You know, you're talking about a whole bigger thing. The lessons is what really, because now with the lessons, I could really see other thing like 6,000 years and what Musa really did 2000 BC, and you know what I'm saying? I'm applying that to what I'm learning historically. You see what I'm saying? Like Najee was just building. One thing about Najee, when he gave me math and alphabet, he didn't give me no manifestation. He didn't give me nothing. Like he said, his thing was look them all up in the dictionary. Get that meaning. You being amongst the gods, you're gonna soak up all of the other. That was his thing, you know, and I build with him. There's probably pros and cons to that approach, right? One thing
that's how I was given. I was given math. I mean, I had the other definition, but they said no. Go get your own definition. Look it up in the dictionary.
Right.
Get your own.
Right.
Then see how all that other stuff, because that's somebody else's understanding.
Right, exactly. That was his whole thing. And that really, what it did for me, it put the math, so my primary go-to in the math and the alphabets, like the building blocks of this mindset, right? Is not like, it's adaptable to anything. Because I'm going to see knowledge in the same way the dictionary sees it. You see what I'm saying? Like that's my go-to. And then I also know within that, all right, as 5%ers, we apply these other meanings that no one else don't. You know what I'm saying?
But it still relates though. Yeah, it
still
relates.
Right. So that when I go to their culture, and that's how I relate it, because when I go to their culture, because I got the dictionary, like knowledge, it mean this. In their language, they have this word for it. You know what I mean? I'm not going into the 5%, that's the 5% do. But I mean, now, I see this is knowledge. So when I look at their culture, and I can say, okay, this is how they apply knowledge. This is how it works within their system. They have the same thing. Everybody got knowledge with what I say, but they might not have it in that kind of order and function in the way we say it, according to this zigzag kind of mechanism. They're gonna have the same building block as
we built on yin and yang.
Right.
And you said the yin and yang over there is kind of like backwards, right? Like
everybody, you see, all right.
Knowledge.
Yeah, now again, I wouldn't say backwards. I know where you come, the perspective you're speaking from.
Right.
But they're gonna do it wisdom knowledge because they think they're functioning to a certain extent for thousands of years. You know what I'm saying? If it was backwards as a machine, it wouldn't run. So it runs, but certain things is missing that we may possess. You see, it based on our way that we do it. You see what I'm saying? And we have, as the God was speaking about, and even Najee and Elisha both spoke about earlier, you know, we have a unique experience that no one ever had in the history of this planet. So we, you know, 1 to 6 is a whole big mixture. The 7 is an extra pill. You just, the little alpha seltzer, you just drop in and fizz up the whole thing, you know what I mean? So we got that, but still study, but you need your 1 to 6.
So you the one that's,
you know what I'm saying? So that's why I could study that thing over there. I got the 7, so I'm good. You know what I mean? Like, you understand what I mean? Like going through those things. So I could use it then because Najee gave it to me that way. So I could use it to draw up whatever they're dealing with. And then use it as a lens through which I'm looking at, viewing or processing whatever they're dealing with. And draw it up according to, you know, give you my 5% version on it. 5% take on it. You know what I mean? Without disrupting their thing. Their thing is peace. You know what I'm saying? They just might certain ingredients they don't have that only we have. That's natural.
That's the purpose of coming together.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, it's a two-way street. You see what I'm saying? That's why I just wanted to build with the God at the same time. Like just now, when I asked it, that would have been a perfect time. Like, if I'm gonna teach over there. So, for example, we got someone in the star, right? But according to the traditional Japanese culture, the sun for them is a female. The male for them is the rains, the storm god. You know what I'm saying? And you could kind of draw up some science in that, like your mom's is, you know what I mean? Especially in our households, we see your mom's is there every day, like the sun, you know what I mean? The first thing you wake up, boom, you see that face, whatever. My question is like, so if I was to teach to them, how am I teach according?
Well, no. You gotta teach it the way we give it, right? I would say like how we give it, because you know the way we teach it is that the sun is the why is the sun the foundation? Right. So you know, for them, they may be able to explain why they see it that way. You know what I'm saying? You know, and not to just be on a battle with them, but I'm just saying at the end of the day, like, well, you know, the sun is the foundation of the solar system.
This is this and this and that is that. Like this is what we.
So you say this is this and that is that.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yeah, I understand that, but so the point I was making is this: sorry. So this is how the white man did it when he went out spreading his thing, right? So he would go like, I see it this way. This is how.
And it's the only way.
Right, and fuck what y'all got. You know what I'm saying? If y'all need to throw that shit away quick. You understand what I'm saying? So now, we not on it like that. So then what do you come? How do you come? Like, okay, we
got to show and prove, right? That's the way to show and improve, and that's how I see it.
The way to show and prove.
The weight is the weight of show and prove, because now you amongst people who may look at things a certain way, right? So it's almost like when in Rome do as Romans do, but we don't do that.
No.
We don't go amongst the Romans and become Romans. So okay, so it's like, no, peace. This is what y'all deal with, or this is what I deal with. If you know.
It sounds like with the last God that came to the door and introduced himself with his lady, he said, y'all both see things differently, both have their own understanding of it. It doesn't mean y'all either both wrong or both right. It's just that y'all see things in two different perspectives.
And it's a different perspective, right? Like, long shot.
What's that?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because it would be definitely hard to teach lessons to somebody who bases wisdom is first instead of knowledge, because it would be a mental conflict. When they were taught, it's hard to reprogram. It's hard to reprogram yourself after years of being taught things, unless you have an open mind. You gotta be, optimistic towards things. It'd be difficult for somebody that's in that mindset, raised in Japan, thinking that the woman is the foundation or as the sun in the universe. It'd be a super mental conflict for that person to come to terms with the knowledge that's given over here. You know what I'm saying? As the father being the sun and the foundation of the universe. You know what I'm saying? It'd be a mental conflict between the two. But the person that's learning it would have to be open-minded and willing to learn a different way of being taught. If they're set in their ways, it's going to be hard for them to be taught.
Well, that's what you think talk about teaching the babies, right? Like, that's, but then again, you want to get the permission of the parents, and the parents may not approve, right? So,
I mean, it's not only the babies that require teaching, it's a lot of adults that require it too, like that didn't grow up with it, Like the God said, the babies, they have the privilege of being born into mathematics. Some brothers have to acquire or attain
most
mathematics.
of us did, yeah. That's why I was telling the baby, the honorable name, because we didn't get it. We had to, we give them honorable names because again, the 5% said that because Umar taught me that. He said, man, because we're not, even though the names have its history with the devil, and yes, the government has something to do with that too, but sometimes, most often, the first rudiments of mathematics was taught in the home. Right, wrong, go to school, you know, how to eat, whatever. Your mothers and fathers taught you that. So they taught you the science of honor. You know what I mean? So we not gonna come here and disparage your mother and father. That was slave, although we did when we were younger. Oh, the slave name, God, government name, When we hear people say government name, that came from the 5%. That's what we say, what's your government name? My government name, you know, but my mother ain't the government. You know what I mean? But, you know, but, yes. So
his question was more so because he's teaching his babies this science, right? But he's in an environment where, in their environment, the son is the female.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So I guess he was trying to say, well, we know.
What? All right. So then,
Excuse me.
peace.
Can I talk to you for a second over here?
Oh, yeah.
Well, that was nice. Glad you did that, yeah. Boy, you teaching them right. That's a grown man science there. He said, oh, no, let me do that here. I didn't pull you to the side. Pull you to the side talk to you. Damn, bro, you did your thing with them, man. I'm sorry, go ahead, God. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, you can add on.
Oh, yeah.
So, all right, so my babies, because they got these, so when I'm teaching them, I can teach the lessons to them strictly because this is my culture. I'm giving to them like this is what it is, this is how it's done at the root, and this is what it is. Knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and so on and so forth. Right. And now, as far as their mother and Japanese culture, that flows in the house too, and I draw it up. Like, you know what I mean? I decipher it, or this is the 5% take on what they do, and so on and so forth. And I could teach them, you know, this is what 85% of the Japanese do, and this is how we view the Japanese original culture, so on and so forth. Now, what I'm saying to the God, like, in the future, my thing is to go out and teach beyond my family.
Okay.
The Japanese people. Now, they have it, I gave you one example, for example, as far as their cosmology and so on, the sun for them is a female. They worship it as a goddess.
So you can see it.
This is their traditional culture.
Okay.
And the male, as far as the balance, is like the rains, the monsoon rains and storms and so on and so forth. So now we say, like, you know, when the devil was spreading his Christianity, he got his way and he said, this is my way, and you know, you're gonna burn your way. So, yeah, we definitely not coming with that, but we also not wishy-washy. We're not gonna go sit there and be transformed by what other people. So what would be the approach? I was saying that I wanted to speak with the God. You know, you've been teaching for many years. What approach could you see?
Okay.
Respecting their culture, but respecting our culture.
Not you was just talking about that a second ago. I was talking to your daughter. Again, man, excellent job, God. Excellent job. Because of the cultural dynamic. But when I was telling him, I remember, and you reiterate, I was saying, yeah, God, well done, because I mean, your root is his knowledge. And then you took it upon yourself as the man to, you know, you have your woman, you created your children, and you teaching the culture of our God there, right? So I said, well, God, how? I said, oh, and because I told her, I complimented your daughter. And then the God was saying about, well, God, he said, one of the things I remember telling you was when you go there, you know, starting from the signs of good and evil. What does that mean to you? You know, and then building from that premise. Because again, God, like something the God was saying, you go in there, right, you're not going to change the cultural dynamic of, and that's not what we're trying to do anyway. But showing the importance. Okay, well the son is the son is the woman. Okay, interesting. Okay, I mean we're not here to disparage you. That's your way, you know. And I understand why that. Without really, and you're saying it because the sun radiates beauty. The rain radiates strength. Boom, boom, monsoon rains. So I see where your dynamics from. It's just that, however, there's much more to the sun than the radiating of beauty. And the reason why you see the prism is light, because of the constant atomic explosions going on in there, right? Which shows you its strength. Like the sun is to the universe, like the black man is to his family. Why do we say that? Because the sun generates its own sense of heat and power. 9 planets are dependent upon its light, which helps it rotate around it, right? So, and showing the masculine strength. Well, the interdependent word you gave me that day, the interdependent strength, like when in the Chinese culture, yin and yang, the law of absolute dominance and excessiveness, but they all work together. You know what I mean? You know, to it's called archetypical form, like the most earliest forms of creation. But to come back to your point, how would you do that? You know, again, like you taught your son. We start from the basics. Like I was telling the God, you want to, and the wisdom is to be dome and gotta stop, man. Even though they're intelligent, but you want to speak the language best understood by the people, right? They see you every day, but all I see every day, you're different to them, right? You know, so they're not seeing, even there, you're seeing things from a objective view. Like, okay, well, that's different. You know, the son and the woman, and wow, and this and that. Okay, better, right? Let me see how you doing that one. You know what I mean?
What I like, it's like what you said, that's a teachable moment.
Yeah, it is, right. Yeah, it is, right. So, you know, and how you start, simply, if I was coming in there, okay, but, you know, what's your view on, or why wouldn't the son not be the man? Right, just, you know, put something, because sometimes we teach through asking the question. You know, of course you go get the phrase, what? That's, you know, because this is something we teach on, you know, what? You know, that's one, you know, because, you know, then, of course, because that's going to beg to another question. Why did you say that? Oh, okay, because, you know what I mean? You know, because I kind of, and I'm more than certain, and in fact, I'm glad you brought this up. I'm going to ask Inf, when you asked him that question, why the woman is that, it was more because of the radiance of the sun. You know what I mean? You know, and then, you know, how it shines. You know what I mean? And then, you know, because you do see strength in,
Party.
no problem. Yeah, you do see strength in rain and water. Absolutely. Strong element. You know what I mean? You know.
Yeah, the monsoons and
Yeah, the monsoon, yeah, they ain't
stuff
gonna play with,
blowing,
yeah. I was Africa, I see how hard it rains. Like I never seen the rain. That's when you travel. So I got it. But we're not trying like a large total. I'm not. You need the knowledge itself, and you're making the connection. One of the first things is showing how, as a people, we're one. Because their philosophy and their science definitely different. That was interesting. You know, it's just the opposite. Because we hear a lot of people say, you know, wisdom is water, and wisdom is not the woman though. Let me stop that. So it's not. My wisdom, she's not there. Wisdom means to be wise. Well, wisdom means my woman is my woman. She's my queen on my earth. You know what I mean? Wisdom is the wise words. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay, it's that too. Because even in this, sometimes we get it kind of misconstrued. You know what I mean? You know, that's my wisdom. No, my wisdom. I remember I told you God's Medina. I said that I went to Medina. You got to see my wisdom. I'm trying to sound slick. I look at me, Saheem, man. God, you don't stop that nonsense right now. Right. So I had to learn. Okay, no, because she's not. But I understand wisdom also is associated with water. And I get that part, you know.
Or a secondary principle.
Yeah, secondary, yeah, it's that, the highest form of expression, you know, all those things, you know. But again, because you'll go back to your question, how would I? Well, first, listening to, because again, applying the mathematics. Well, let me see what they mean by that first. Because I'm not going to just come, because a lot of times, and I've done that too, a large part of my fault when I come up in this knowledge was, because when you get the knowledge, you're so eager, you're not, I had to learn how to teach, put it that way. So, but yeah, the black man's God, and the black man's man, and wisdom is this and that, you know, and then people look at you, okay, but, you know, first I went over my head, Okay, and then when you do speak to me plainly, I'm still not getting it because I'm diametrically coming from a different point. Right. You know, so, you know, again, what do you mean by the son being a woman? Then I'm getting an understanding. Oh, I see what you mean. You know what I mean? Interesting because just the opposite.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting you say that because I'm always going. I told God I'm fascinated with language and culture.
Right.
So you got like you know, knowing your audience and knowing
Right. That's what he said there too. Yeah.
knowing
Right.
the language of the people that you're speaking to.
Right.
And then you know you can also share your perspective. Like I said, God said like that's a teachable moment. You know, but you get to you know understand where they coming from.
Right.
And bear with them, because you know, in that side of the world, it's about the yin and the yang, right? The yin is the woman, or the yin is feminine, and the yang is so it's like almost like wisdom, knowledge to us, right? But then, when you speaking to them, like you just got to figure out how to communicate.
Yin is
female,
and yang is
masculine. You know what I'm saying? So
it's first, you second.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Yin,
Peace, God.
Yin and yang. You know what I mean?
And these are things with their mother that I had to, you know what I mean, like explain. And one of the things that made it, and always you want to keep it with it, you know, keep it with the equality there, right? But one of the things that always, so what is the purpose? What is the benefit? Or if you're teaching it this way, you're teaching it, let's say for example, the son is the woman. So what do y'all get from that? From that, because it's all the black man is you using this. Everyone is using whatever they do in with their culture to add on to their mind, free to dome. You know what I mean? So you learn it that way, and you get what from that? What do you observe about the son that you want to give it those characteristics? All right, that's
good questions.
You know what I mean? And this is all right, and we say it for this, and then you know we. Right. Not only do we see those qualities in the son, but also then we get to take those qualities and we use them to apply to our men and boys for, you know, for living, rites of passage, how we grow. You know, where obviously you doing that for the females over there in your way, and you must have these other things that you're doing for the men. All right, so y'all organize your life like this, we organize it like that, and that's peace. But and this is I'm taking a long way around it, but
that's okay.
This is how I really put it to their mother. But see, with their mother, I am, just like with them, I am in the business of making a 5%er. Right? Whereas with the rest of the people now, where I'm trying to move now, that might not always be the goal. So I don't really have any experience other than making you one of mine, conversion.
So God, see, knowledge is wisdom. See, this is called today mathematics understanding. Why the devil keep our own people apart from their social equality? The root word is social equality. His is for the purpose of course we know, I don't want you to know how filthy in all my affairs, because once you learn about me, you run me from among you. But you want to understand the social dynamics of the people. So that's what you're learning. Well, I'm not coming like, I don't come there to, I don't teach the teacher how to teach. Nor am I, I'm just trying to explore, like I understand we said, well, because you're my woman, yeah, this is the dynamic now. Right. Peace. Let me kind of get you to understand what needs to be understood here. Right. You know, and then, and the reason why that is, again, mathematics, lessons, because the sun is who?
Because the sun is the man.
And the moon is?
The woman.
So we have attracting powers in our planets, and the planets are the children. They're made or grown from the beginning. They're made or grown from man and woman, sun and moon, right? But the reason why she's accessible, first of all, I like what I see. I'm attracted to the mind, and whatever he brings, be good. I'm good with that. So then, what else is he bringing to the table? And then you bring that science, because again, the cultural differences, and you're showing, you know what I mean? Patience, first degree. I'm cultivating the land. You know what I mean? You know, boom. So you're harvesting. You're not thinking it'll come overnight, but then it does. You know what I mean? So that different dynamic with the people, definitely you're exploring more so. So like right. And the question you just asked, that's the type of how are you benefiting from that? How do you benefit from that? mainly how is she the son? You know, how is she these dynamics? You know what I mean? I get yin and yang though, because we can kind of get, because wisdom is the degree upon which the knowledge travels in. You know what I mean? So it's really knowledge and wisdom, but it's man and woman are working interdependently.
Right.
Right. So I get the archetypical means the most earliest form. So I'll take it from the universe. You know what I mean? That's where the yin and yang come from. It comes from that. You know, the light and dark, the light. You know what I mean? And they the laws of dominance and the laws of recessiveness. You know what I mean? But you know, there are typical forms that are applied to people. You know what I mean? It's a book too, a good book to read, called Signs and Symbols of Pre-Mortal Man.
Yeah, I know. I read this back in the day. I read
Okay, gotcha. So you already know what it is, right?
Right.
Churchill or something like that.
Yeah,
Anyway, right. So anyway, but yes, by engaging in the conversation, you know, that's what I do in the discussion class, in my class. Like, we talk about 120, you know what I mean? But you know, we you know, God, how do you see this, and what's this, and how is this quoted? You know, because just in this room, the lessons are different. That's just from this dynamic. But when you're talking about that, you know, again, we're not right. You're not. I'm not making you a 5%er or changing your dynamic. You know what I mean? But in this build, you know, like the Jewish people, I always have, because I'm working in the behavioral health field, so help all people, right? You know, but again, when I come across them, we've always had this conversation. You know what I mean? You know, I know y'all think that we're this and that. Oh, no. In fact, I commend your cultural commitment to your people. I commend that you say never say, you know, don't forget. You know, I got to historically go into the bill with him about us and the bigger picture. You know what I mean? Then ironically, I said, man, what's almost paradoxical is the fact that you're calling yourselves, the Beta Israel, the original black people, who you calling Jews. They were originally the original people. Right. This is their homeland. You would have to have Selassie and them, but he was dropping it on y'all about where they came from. The philosopher is not really the name. That's a name that was given to the same black people who lived in these particular homelands. But again, that was our early bill before you came with your children, was how our history was crushed to the earth. You know what I mean? And separation was caused because our lack of not knowing. You know what I mean? But when you have knowledge, you understand not everything, you understand everything around you, but how to engage with everybody. You sitting down, okay, let me come bring it back to your question, God. I don't want to stray too much. Yeah, we're going back to that earlier bill, God. So you would explore. But people come in here. People come in here, okay, you know, the Christian, we've had conversations with people, because I want to hear, I'm not leaving Jesus because I'm sitting here talking to you. You know what I mean? Okay, well, how's that working for you? You know what I mean? You know, what do you mean? You know what I mean? Just kind of understanding where they are. You know what I mean? And that dynamic.
Well, you know, God, pardon me, not to cut you, but when Najee walked in, it reminded me, like, one time early on, I can't remember the exact circumstances, but again, this was, you know, when I was in and out, and I used to come by Najee's Rest and, you know, Bill, and I don't remember the whole circumstances of the conversation. Basically, I'm talking about going over there and teaching, and maybe I was teaching something, or I was teaching to someone or something.
321? When you was at 321, you was around?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I was back. Okay,
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Bill.
And Najee was saying, and I'm paraphrasing here, so it might be as extreme as.
Plus he old, so he, you know.
Me too, but so this is something from 20-something years back.
Okay, got you. Good.
But it's basically Najee was saying, like, yo, don't go up over there, up in them people's place, up in them people's houses, basically, and start blowing it up like this, that, and third. You would get. And he told me a couple stories of guys that got themselves in different situations from being in the wrong place and blowing it up too hard, you know. And I think, you know, looking back now, especially now as a father with a family and all of that, it was right and exact. He's speaking about my safety. You up in some these other people countries.
Yeah, right.
Plus, I be traveling in Muslim places too. You know what I mean? Where they not playing. You know what I mean? Even just the crown a little different. They never seen it before. They looking at it away.
Yeah, right.
So you know what I mean? So he's saying those things is about safety. It's about being wise and so on and so forth. I feel now though, having taken this for so many years, I think I've grown to the point where I have good understanding of where I can, you know what I'm saying, and to where, yeah, and you know, like you just said, God, those younger days, you was coming more fiery with it, more confrontational. Right. You know, I was just coming fresh from the root.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Guns blazing.
Exactly. But you know, but maybe now. So now those are the questions that I'm seeking to answer now. Like, all right, now.
I think just honest, I mean, as we always, but I think you have more of an answer about that because you're there. You see what I'm saying? You know.
Right, you would know how to navigate because you've been there for a long time, so you know the culture.
I also want to make sure, this is the thing that I always come back to too, that I don't want to stray far. You know what I'm saying?
No. Well, you are far, in the sense of like meaning that you are far from here, but I get the sense of what you're saying, like, and it's peace that you come back here and build, but you have a greater understanding how to navigate that land than we do. Because me personally, I've never been there. You been there before?
No,
you been?
No.
Right,
I don't think nobody in here.
Right. So I've never been. So you have a greater understanding of that now. I like what God said, like in terms of like you start the conversation, and you know, like you don't disparage them, but you spark the conversation. Like, you know, if you see somebody could get something from you, and it will benefit them, and you give it to them.
Something Farrakhan said. I take from this. I'm a jewel thief anyway, so I'm not gonna be strong in my house and weak in yours. And when I heard that, I ran with that, which means let me study. Like it goes back to what Najee said. Now, even more importantly, let me respect you, because I would want you to respect me when you come in my house, right? That's why I asked your daughter about the difference, because there's differences. There's differences in terms of culture, not people, but in terms of culture. But you know, in traveling from how I do things there to how we do things here, but knowing, see, because the manifestation of knowledge means to know, like, come, how you doing? You know, you're gracious. You know what I mean? Like you said, God, just the way you wear your clothes differently. Okay, yeah, it's not wear our clothes. You know, like, who is he? Right? He looks different because his dreads, and you know, look at his locks, you know, whatever. So, the whole dynamic. But then, see, people are more open when they see that you know their science and philosophy. Oh, okay. So we can talk now. So I'm not just coming in that I had to learn that too. You know what I mean? I had to, because it was one way. Black man's God, spiritual man, and you know, okay, bet. So I mean, and people taught me teachable moments. Can you show me your presence in this Bible, this Quran, the Bhagavad Gita, this book, or the book of the Torah? Can you? Do you know this language? You know, whatever. You know, in fact, one of the premises of the anti-white, don't be anti-white or pro-black, was that very same thing. Because you hear, man. I mean, I get what's happening. I'm telling you who the original man is, who the devil is, but we're not going to emulate the ways of him. You know, I'm not having you hate. I'm not having you. And first, you get the knowledge of self. In fact, we want to teach all human family. That's why Allah was a major threat, because I'm trying to. I'm bringing all these people together, but knowing that's, you know, like, okay, let me. I mean, and you've been around, so you pretty much know too. The question then would only be, if I have a knowledge of why these sciences are, then one of my questions would be, well, how does it benefit them? You know what I mean? Because you need to see how they see it. Because a lot of times when people, and they may have a misunderstanding even how they see their own science, and then you helping them. You know, okay, well, you know, interesting, because, you know, I kind of see that a little bit differently, depending on the person. You know, that I was telling your daughter, another premise I work for is the eyes round. I gotta look at who I'm talking to. I gotta look at your facial expressions and your body language. Because if I have people, first of all, they see the flag, right? I watched how you looked at me. Yeah. And so excuse me. Yeah, okay, not a problem. No, I'm not gonna problem. Have a good day. I got you. Or man, whatever. Lady told me months back, I always say this in my class, it was raining. It's Sunday. They get me to go to church. They're waiting for a cab. I'm going to come down here. So I'm going to walk in the building. She said, yeah. She said, you got your umbrella, son? I said, yeah, yes, ma'am. Come right here. I said, yeah, because the Lord making it rain, right? And so I said, all right, you say so. So, cause you make a statement like that, damn, you sound like you atheist. So but the man was like, you don't believe in God? Two older people, so I respect him. I said, then I went to that whole dynamic. No, I don't. I know him. You know what I mean? Different culture because, I'm sure your conversation could definitely be different there because there's a whole nother dynamic again. You know what I mean? We're talking about how we were brought here and that whole, there you're talking about Japan. Right, so you're talking about, man, this is how, this is, all right. So it's just engaging in the conversation, right? For those that's open, I said, going back to the God's bill, I think who's going to, anyone being objective, because again, this is what your philosophy all your life. I'm not here to change that dynamic, right? But in our discussion, I know if you open, you will ask me some questions, right? But you don't see the son being the woman? No, that's not how I was given that signs. But you understand where they're going, depending. I'm just using what do you call that? What their definition of how that signs goes, based on what God said, but one thing I give, one of the definitions of one of the definitions I give look, listening and respecting, because I would want somebody when they come into my house to respect me. You know what I mean? You have people come in and I'm a 5%. I got tough skin. I've had people come in, thinking this was church. When I buy that, I mean, like, oh no, what do you mean? Oh, well, you're in my house, so let me gotta give you how we perceiving the signs. Understanding it. No, we're not. Okay, what makes rain, hail, you tell me about God did this. I'm telling you what makes actually rain, hail, snow, and earthquakes. Because you need to know that. You know what I mean? Okay, you want to believe you? I'm not here to dissuade you. You know what I mean? The Lord, then you giving them basic, vice versa. So like the God said, you would know though because you know how to navigate. Because again, there's a lot of dynamics. The way you come in my house, the way you cross my threshold is a whole different. Here in New York, I'm seeing the client. Because of cultural, even in New York, I come into my, so I'm just walking into your house. You invited me in. Wait, stop. Take your shoes off. I said, okay, bet. One person told me, man, they wanted me to do some more other. I'm like, So then, until the child told me, well, this is part of our culture. You come here to do X. I said, okay, man, no problem. You know what I mean? And I'm, so I respect you as long as it's nothing that is demeaning or will infringe, and then we, okay, no problem. We're going to conclude this part of the discussion. But, in fact, I'm not a Jewish community. I'll meet you outside. You're definitely not coming to my house. For whatever their reasons are. I'm not going to say, oh, because they hate me because I'm black and all that. You know what I mean? That's just, because their community is tight-knit. Right. So, and again, when we had a conversation, right, gentleman said, we are the world and, kumbaya, I don't see color. Okay. So why isn't your woman black? Right. Not to, I would offer that. because the black woman is made for the black man. And see, by black, we understand, because we understand the universal flag, black, brown, and yellow. Right. You know, your woman's black. Okay. That's a black seed. Right, but you gotta understand what I'm meaning by that. You know what I mean? You know, and what am I implying? You know, so, you know, and then how am I wording? Wisdom means to be wise. I really need to be wise in how I word something to some people. You know, so as you navigate, you know, just learning how to, well, how would I approach? I mean, I would, you know, if I'm in the conversation, depending on who I'm talking to, definitely reading the person. Because that's important. I had to learn that later. Because a lot of times you think because you just running your mouth, you know, that somebody really wants to hear that. Right, but you know, then you know, if they are open, where do I go? You know, excuse me, can you help me out? You know, a lot of times too, when you ask questions, quite often people see that this is a person who doesn't have absolutely no knowledge of my culture. And he's asking, oh, and we teach him. Right, okay, bet. So I'm just sitting there. And they're a good teacher, or someone who's looking at who I'm giving this information to, then they're going to ask you a question. Oh, so, where are you from? I know I've seen you here quite often. What's your way? What's so-and-so? Okay, bet. Wow, thank you for that. Which is why I begged you the question, the X, Y, Z, because, you know, we kind of the opposite. You know what I mean? You know, boom. You know, like you said, to those questions, like, how does that benefit you? You know, how was the son, how, you know, that whole dynamic, you know, so, you know, but then, well, no, I wouldn't. Depending on who I'm talking to, especially with that son and brain thing, that was interesting. That was interesting dynamic. And yeah, like yin and yang, just from a different perspective. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't lose my wig. Now, if I was young, I would. How do you mean? Oh, emphatically no. You know what I mean? The son can't be the woman. You know what I mean? Okay, you understand that to be that. You know what I mean? But then when you hear it, they're more come from philosophical, I'm sure, and they're going to show you, you know, the radiance and its association to the woman. Until, you know, when you understand what the sun is, you know what I mean, and you know, you're explaining masculinity. You know, I'm not saying that the woman, you know, can't bring no force neither, because she can. Again, the God, and to work interdependently, because we're working together. I'm just saying that I'm here first, and she came after. But we working together to, you know, proliferate the universe, to make it ongoing. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's deep. You know, the culture. In fact, a child in Ghana, they speak Chi, and they speak different languages. One of the major languages is Chi. You know, they say aye pa, you know what I mean? And, you know, like, I'm all right. How are you doing? I'm all right. You know, so they, when the children ask in Chi, because they see the flag, right? They said, oh, what's that? So I took the long way around the block to get there, right? You know, so I said, okay. So in what do you call that? In the there a street with a traffic light, traffic sign, you know. So I said, anybody, what's that? You know, so anybody know what that is? So some people said lights, then someone said, oh, traffic light. I said, yeah. I said, you know who invented that? I said, what? I said, a person who more than like that, 9 3/4 out of 10, his family was taken from here. His name was Gary G. Morgan, right? He created that. In America, it was created. And then it just, because of the importance of the street light, it traveled. But these were people who were taken from here. And that's what I was showing was how we were taken from here, but how the knowledge of who we were taken, and then we had to regain the knowledge. So the flag represents a regaining of the knowledge and the importance of who we are, the knowing of who we are, and our connection to everybody. You know what I mean? Black man, I'm laughing because when I said this, a brother was walking, he was Muslim. So, you know, we bilingual, so he hears me when I said, you know, law came, you know, as a black man, What? What do you mean? Allah in the sky? No Allah here. I said, no. I said, okay. I know you're going to hit me with the Arabic stuff, Allah, and blah, blah, blah. Okay, I just, I get it. Me and him had another conversation, too interesting. You know what I mean?
See, that's like navigating.
Yeah, navigating
language and culture. That's,
yeah, right. So
navigating.
he listened. So again, I had to look peripheral vision. Okay, so let me, like the God using, let me tread lightly. Not like a change, but I'm changing the truth. But you have to respect the people. The child, almost older than Asu, right, asked me that question. So but then I got to a lot of 5%, but how knowledge over here in America had to come to us, whatever. And so they kind of understood it. Then Muslim brother, I had to tell them, Allah. I said, yeah, no question. Allah, Islam, those are terminologies and names that we use, but they were fashioned to accommodate people in America. We're not talking about 7th century Islam, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We're not talking about none of those Islamic. We're talking about how knowledge was given to the black man, the ghettos, the poor part, because he was taken from here, and made a slave and a nigger, right? Yeah, and then like no disrespect, bro. I said peace to you, peace to Islam, but that didn't come over here to help us. But we needed help. That wasn't over here in 1914, 1934, 1950, in the 60s. You came kind of later. You came, but you didn't. You wasn't the people who were here. Nobutu Ali, and he fashioned the truth differently. You know what I mean? And all these other people, Marcus Garvey, this one and that one. And yes, Arabic late language, but the truth was manifested to us through that language. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Master Fard Muhammad and all them, they came and taught us that, you know what I mean? So peace to them. Like I was telling the Yemen brothers too, that same science, but respectfully, you know what I mean? Always, people interested, still are. What do you mean by that? We are. That's interesting. You know what I mean? The son is okay. That's new. Okay, so the son is the woman. How do you explain that to me? Okay, bet. You know what I mean? They see the interest. Okay, then of course, because although you're not, you look different than them. So they got okay. So how does that apply to you? Or what do you then you okay? Well, you ready? Yeah. Okay, bet.
Well, ask the God. Like you birthed your babies too. Right? Do they do that over there? Is it like a part of the culture, their culture?
What you mean by natural
birth of their baby, like his babies, like right? Because you.
Yeah, from about the third one on. Yeah.
From the third one on, you birthed your
How many
children.
seeds you have?
7.
Okay.
And from the third one on, because we had, the first 2, the hospital experience wasn't good.
Oh.
It was
hospital experience in those parts.
Yeah, no, I just want. Yeah, not because it was those parts. It wasn't like they got some. Just
just experience itself.
Yeah, it just wasn't really
right.
good experiences. You know what I mean? And they ain't have, especially not in China. China, they got the whatchamacallit, the family planning, the one child policy.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean? Like
you was violating that.
Like I was wilding. You know what I mean? But I had been.
Oh, I thought that was in China. It's in Japan.
Yeah, no, in China.
So he's been in China as well.
He went to China first.
Okay,
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, China is really.
Oh, you got seeds in China.
No, same with the
Yeah,
Japanese women, but
right.
some of them was born there, some of them was born in
Japan.
Japan.
Gotcha, okay, but it's okay.
Depend where we were staying at the time.
Their policy is like that, but then you was right.
Right, so with that policy like that, you gotta have your baby in the hospital, because they want the whole you know what I mean? Like
they want to see the process.
Exactly.
So they know, okay, it was one.
Exactly.
It wasn't triplets.
Yeah, straight out of the Patmos, like off the
wow.
assembly line. Like they're not playing around,
Wow.
But
wow.
So we were doing it at home, because in the hospital it wasn't really good. But then so when the third baby came around, she was pregnant and all of that. So I was looking for a midwife. right? I was like, yo, we're gonna do it like this. And I found a midwife. She was also, this white chick. She was, so she was kind of off the grid. So we were kind of breaking the law, but because we not really they citizens, we don't really fall under it. You know what I mean? So anyway, so that was going on. But then, so while she was doing that, she started to research, like reading up on it. Because as I'm like, oh, we're gonna get a midwife this time. I put it down, right?
You said your woman was talking about.
I said I was saying that like, yo, it was bad last time. We're not going through it again. You know what I mean? And I think it was around that same time as read Elijah Muhammad, the true history of Jesus, where they tell the story about it that Joseph, he was also doing the midwifery for Mary. And he said, Elijah saying that he said, in the East, all our men know this skill and can perform this duty for their women. So I have kind of put the battery in my back, you know what I mean? So, but anyways, I'm like, we're going to find this midwife. So we found this white girl and she was going to do it. But that she, meaning my earth, as she started reading up on it, reading how she, I put the idea in her mind, but now she's going to, she reflecting it back by researching it. She get one book that was basically pumping her up like, you don't even need the midwife. You could do it all at home as long as you just be aware of yourself, and you so on and so on. You know what I mean?
Giving it up.
Right. So she was like, yo, this is what I'm on now.
Okay.
I couldn't really, you know what I mean? I had to be like, cause I'm the one who put the spark.
Right. You couldn't back up now. Like,
yeah, I'd be like, all right.
Don't run now.
You know what I mean?
That's the seed cultivating coming in full bloom, though. I'm saying you brought it to one degree and then took it to a whole other degree.
Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. That's where it went in the order it's supposed to go in. So I couldn't say nothing. So that's what it is. So that's what you know what I mean? That's how we did it.
See, even though you was a little nervous, you still did it.
Yeah,
You see, dealing with this truth, you're going to be nervous because you know the situation that everybody's in.
Right.
But the truth got to be manifested regardless of what.
Right, exactly.
Regardless.
And then she putting her life in danger in that way. I can't punk out if she, you know what I mean? Like every time we would have a baby then, she write a little letter to her moms. Like, if you get this letter, it means something happened, da 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 da. Like also, you know what I mean? Like she gotta write one of them every time. I don't gotta write one. You know what I mean? So I couldn't really punk out. No.
So basically, this system over there, they don't deal with, because that's something that is advocated here as well, is like knowing that science.
Right.
But that science is not advocated
in China.
In China, it is.
No, in
it's
China
not,
it's not because they got the one-child policy, so they got to regulate all birth, all reproduction, all everything. You know what I'm saying? You can't just be out there making babies, just because how they regulate now, like.
It's still going on like that. It's still.
Yeah, like what you're gonna see, what you're gonna have, like your social security number, right? Let's put it that way, like your social security number. And basically, we all know social security, but your social security number, like 10 times more important.
Over there.
Yeah. You understand? Like everything you do, like you gotta have it. Like you always got ID. You always got your number. Like you can't. You see what I mean? But if you had a birth that was out there somewhere, it wasn't regulated. Nobody can't vouch for it. No government official. You won't get a number. If you won't get a number, you like a non-entity. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't do nothing.
So how do you navigate that though?
If you don't get a number,
yeah.
Well, they got because it's people breaking it. I know people that's breaking it. You know what I mean? Chinese people that break it. You know what I mean? Like Chinese people, they like to have sons, right? The son pass on the thing. I knew this dude. He had you. If you missed the first one had a daughter, so he allowed a second shot. He had another daughter. Well, he crapped out. But he went and he made his woman get, we're gonna do this. He made his woman get pregnant again. I was there with the delivery, and so they underground for real, like in the back room having, illegal type deliveries and all of that. You know what I mean? But then they got the people they're gonna go to later at some point in time to get the baby registered, get them a fake numbers and all of that. You know,
but you was doing it at home though.
Yeah, but because I'm a foreigner, I don't go into their books. So what happened now, after the baby born, I gotta go down to the local office to register the birth, right? And so when I go and do that, and they mad, they might be mad, but they can't say nothing to me. If I was Chinese, I get locked up.
Oh, sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they can't do nothing to me. You know,
That's creepy.
they couldn't do it to me, but they might be mad though.
Really?
Another question, God. What the ratio of blacks there from here there? What is that
From here,
there?
you mean?
All right. First, from here there, like yourself. Anybody from the United States there, other than
In China?
living?
Yeah, no, there's a lot. Although I'll be honest, I never met no one from Now Wide. Never.
Okay, but some from the United States.
From the United States, but there are fewer. You mostly more Africans.
It's more African.
More Africans over there. China, they whatchamacallit. China, they developing a lot of Africa. A lot of the countries they
Yeah.
you know what I
I seen them
mean?
in Ghana.
So what
Yeah,
happened?
yeah.
What they do, for example, in your country, they like yo. They gonna tell Ghana, let's say, like yo, we gonna build a this, we gonna build a that, and they send their people over there and whatever they build it, and so they give their people jobs and whatnot. And Ghana's saying, so what we getting? So they'll say what they do is they throw scholarships at them. So okay, you could send some of your young Ghanaian people
Right,
over here to
right.
come study in our
Yeah,
school.
Yeah, right,
Or
right.
something like that, and get some education or whatever. They do certain little things like that. So it's a lot of Africans over there studying, like a lot, because trying to do a business with all of the
Okay.
countries. So a lot of them, most times black people you're going to find is African.
Okay.
Remember about 3 years ago, a student from Japan came in. We spoke to him in New York.
Oh, yeah. There's a whole bunch of them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I recorded that.
Mob B
Yeah.
was
They said they hold classes.
Mhm.
You know,
holding classes.
they
What
hold
classes?
classes. in
What kind of
Japan.
classes?
Civilization classes.
From this
Yeah,
side?
they built it. I built
Okay,
it
okay,
from New
okay.
York, you know,
All right. I got you.
God, I was asking. Oh, bad.
extended from him going down there back and forth or whatever. But it's there, and they came from here.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that.
Maybe a couple came from here, but the rest of them were from Japan.
Okay.
God, you taught your babies how to speak English by way of the lessons.
Yeah, you
Right.
could say it like that. Like, I mean, I was speaking with that. First of all, you got to speak. You know what I mean? But like I taught it. I had to teach them the math and everything, different order than what I got from Najee. I had to. So,
Right.
Najee is math alphabet, 10, 36, 14, 40, and actual or solo. But I was trying different things. Like I remember, like Elijah Muhammad said that he used the English C lesson as a bedtime story for children. So that kind of put it up. So my oldest son, I started doing 1 to 36 with him when he was like 3. We would just do it like a conversation. Like I'd be far, and he'd be Elijah.
Yeah, right.
And so they getting everything. They getting like the whole how to do conversation.
Back
all
and
of
forth.
that.
Yeah.
Right.
That's interesting. Now you talk about the English C lesson, but you doing this and
As an English lesson though.
Right.
They learn, and then later on, like my oldest one, I never taught him no ABs. I mean, I taught him the alphabet, like he know that he couldn't sing the song, but I never taught him like how to read really. Just doing the 1 to 36, just like doing it over and over again. I don't know. Maybe he figured out the different way to combine the letters and kind of took it from there. But just doing it over and over, 1 to 36. And then other little things like, so probably when they young, I do 1 to 36 and math and alphabets first. You know what I mean? I do it. That's what I make my thing match. You know what I'm saying? Like today, you know what I'm saying? Understand it. Then we arrange the alphabet like in the 3 columns. So today's alphabet is CLU, right? C for C, L for love, Hallelujah, U for you, universe, right? C, and then today's jewels and so on. You know what I mean?
all the ones that add up to 3, basically.
Yeah. So we got posters. I got put posters on the wall. So I write it on the wall, and I write them in 3 columns from 1 to 9, 10 to 18, and.
So you got you come like kind of your own system of teaching them mathematics or teaching them the lessons.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, like the paper. I still got the original paper I got from Najee, right? And so you have like from Allah in the alphabets. Because I got numbers with mine. So he got from Allah to
Zigzag.
no, on the first column, I mean, it got from Allah to like self a savior. Then after that is truth to zigzag zig. So I just put it in 3 columns so the numbers match up. So they memorize it like that. So it become like nursery. Because I was a English teacher over there.
You wasn't English teacher?
Yeah.
Okay.
So just to say whatever, like, and that's how we was learning. So I took a lot of that and used it in, you know what I'm saying? Try to have my own little University of Islam. So,
Well, in the earlier, the way the system or how we're taught mathematics, supreme alphabets, the 1 to 10, actually it's the 1 to 14, the 1 to 36, but then some people, I got it to 1 to 36, then 1 to 14.
Yeah, I
Get
got
that in a minute.
Yeah, right.
Then you had the 1 to 40, the actual facts and solar facts.
Some people have the 1 to 36 after the 1 to 40.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna get kind of go there because again, the system of teaching the science was definitely different some 50-something years ago, right? You know, in fact, there was no, you know, you got it again like mouth to ear. It wasn't until later on in the 60s, you know, you start publishing, you know, I'm not publishing, start copying the lessons and, you know, and then the back and forth with the Urban League because they were copying them and then words were missing and how was this and, you know, then Allah, we're going to Madawan in 65, you know, a lot of guards were going there seeing them, okay, how is this how this goes and whatever. Guards teaching differently. In fact, the guard was talking about some of the guards taught differently in Medina. You know, like a guard was teaching a brother here, because his tree is, the root of his knowledge goes back to like maybe Sahim and them or whatever. But he taught the God said, yeah, God, I'm weak on 140. I said, God, okay, bet. So God, I asked him a question in class about the 136. He said, God, I didn't get that yet. He said, what? I said, you know, to me, no. And I me and the brother who was teaching him, I had a peaceful conversation, because then the minute he told me where he got his knowledge from, and the root of that, I kind of, okay, bet. I see how that, because it, you know, the order of how it was taught to them. So, then the 136, like you were saying, that was one of, I remember telling me, that was, like right after 110, the reason why some were teaching that, because that was more easier to put on brain, you know, than it was, because like my name is Devil Muhammad. Why is the devil saying the best part of planet Earth? I can't think about myself. You know, then why did Muslim a lot of times live in the year 2000 BC? A lot of these degrees, the answer degrees, were a little bit more lengthier. And then again, you know, you're looking at where the person is at. The hard distance as long as you get it. But then, you know, we've had like a universal order and consensus of how we do it. And that's supreme mathematics to the solar and actual facts, to the actual solar facts. But means on the contrary, right? Like in your situation, okay, because I'm teaching my children, right? So then what's one of the best ways I can, because the whole idea is, I want you to get this, right? You know, so let me give it to you in a way that's best understood by you. You know what I mean? What's the, I said, maybe I'm teaching my children. This is where, you know, again, like I said, people say that, but that's a mean feat to be taught mouth to ear. Because if I can't read, right, listen, I can't read, how are we doing that one? Right? So that means that the person intently, like I'm hanging on to every word, who is the original man, because, you know, again, one of the dynamics of 5%, if I give you this degree, I need you to give it back to me. There's no you know, I mean, I know sometimes you get a little lackadaisical here and there, you know, but anyway, the root of who we are, you know, that's why like at a parliament is every what?
Every last Sunday.
Yeah, but it's every 30 days, correct? So if you want a 1 to 10, by next parliament, you know, you should be knowing, right? So another whole set of lessons that God is required, you know, depending on where you are. But Just saying like because that's the general consensus. I got you, God. Give me 1 second. Then, but sometimes people have to be taught differently depending on where they are. You know what I mean? Okay, but I'm not going to grasp these lessons as quick as I could grasp this. You know what I mean? Okay, I see. They learn like I was telling them that your children dropped it. You know, it's different ways of learning.
Well, I want to ask God another question from that same point. We was talking about like no mean feat, you know, from mouth to ear, teaching like that. Like I'm kind of like in the future teaching situation I'm gonna be faced with is where the language is not even there. Someone who has no English,
Right.
but for whatever reason they see things in the media, with the rap, the hip hop, or whatever they see. So they have some knowledge. Things on the internet. They know about this number 7. They know about this flag or whatever.
Right.
So I'm gonna have people. Or I'll be confronted with people potentially, you know, from a whole scale where you got people over here got zero English, but they might have some sort of love or want to know about something.
The culture.
You know, and then over here you might have. You might have someone whose English is just flowing to where it's not an issue at all. You know, and then but you're gonna have the whole everything in between. You know what I mean? But it's not gonna be, but probably more over here. And these are the ones that might be hungrier for it because they know it instinctually. Even like like these hip hop groups, they come back and they tell the stories, and I know them. I know these for sure. I'm not hearing from them. I know from personal witness. Like you got people over there, they don't speak no English, but they know the whole song. They at the concert, for any of these rap concerts, they at the concert singing the whole album. You can't have no conversation with them. They don't speak no English.
But I know that though.
Right, and they know in the meaning, they could sit there and give you explanation on that, but they can't.
I mean, so let me ask you a question. So what do you think? What do you think? That's deep. That's deep. So what do you think? That's about. I don't speak no English, but I can quote Biggie shit all day long.
Right.
Biggie, give me, and you hear him. This guy couldn't even speak English, but he knows this. You know. So why do you think that is?
You mean why do they do it, or why are they able to do it?
Right. Okay.
I mean, they do it. You know, they loving our culture. You know, I mean, people seeing. Like this is what I'm saying. This is why this knowledge is the one that fit me once I started going abroad. Is just, you know, when we talking about this universal black man, it's something that speaks to people worldwide. I mean, people feel that. Everyone who got that in there. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and this hip hop, this rap, whatever, that culture come from with so much of that infused in it that once they see the rap, they see in the freedom or whatever. So they gravitate to that, and they freeing themselves from whatever they going through over there. They instinctively know this is the vehicle for that, right? But so why they able to do it? So what they do, the Japanese, for example, you know, these are very studious people. What they gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Like a Japanese student, like some rapper, some hip hop. He could tell you more about all of them songs we grew up listening to. They could tell you, oh, it was recorded at this studio and this producer and this. Like they study it. They got books they read for that.
Okay.
Like hip hop in the 70s. They got that book.
Right.
So with the lyrics now, they're going to approach it like that. They're going to study it like it's homework. And they might somehow, they print, and they're going to share it. And they're going to print out all the lyrics. And they might even have to look it up. I mean, take their time to study.
Good point too.
Same way we did lessons back in the day.
Right. And but there are people over there, right? Students, they're taught. Their whole thing is education. Like, but we're not playing. Like, this ain't America. We're not playing. So when I grasp something I'm interested in, right? And that was my whole dynamic because I like that, right? That, you know. So now when I see something coming similarly close to that, I'm interested. Right, that's something that I'm willing to listen to, versus blah 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 blah. You know, okay, now, I like that, right? To the point where I'm studying it. I know its history. In fact, I'm even making it my business to make sure what little bit of English I can speak, I can do that. Right. So now, when I do see something closely related, because again, you know, we were the foundation to that too. You know, because Herc hung around us. Father, he's the first one, You know, he's among the gods and everybody. So when you know, like anything, they like you use your example because you wanted it. It says the many came, but only a few will be chosen. These are those who chose them. So absolutely, right? I didn't want the knowledge because in profound. I just like the whole culture, the style. I like the way God walked, the way God wore his hat. You know, in fact, I was curious of how it so quickly, like wildfire, impacted my whole team. Like overnight, they had righteous names and wasn't responding to their names. You know what I mean? Like, what? You know what I mean? So I said, let me find out. And I wanted, now, when I was taught, when I was told, do you want this knowledge? Yeah. Okay. So here's what's required. You know what I mean? Some people just left. You know, okay, you got to fast too. Your fasting is part of that fasting. You mean like run fast? No. You know, like eat fast? No. Don't eat. You know, I was taught that dynamic. So, but I wanted this, so I stayed. You know, like all of us did here. You know what I mean? Something you did. You said it. Yeah, I want this, so I stayed. You know what I mean? There was no ifs, ands, or buts. So, same with them. You know, the only, I guess, yes, at the barrier would be language. You know what I mean? Because I'm interested, but then there's difficult our communication. So again, let me learn a language, right? Because then, you know, but people coming here. I'm in the classroom, you know, I know somebody may not be, but, oh, peace to the gods. Oh, peace. You know what I mean? I'm smiling, okay, man. You know, yeah, peace, man. I'm just, you know, knowledge and wisdom. You know, he's able to speak like that because of, you know, because of close, you know, whatever I was taught. But, and then I'm respecting the house. You know what I mean? So that, you know, then the respect is reciprocal, even greater. You know what I mean? But same with, you know, same there. You know, as you navigate. You know what I mean? You know, right? Cause, you know, right. And again, you know, those are countries, China and Japan, where, you know, like again, they're in the world. They're the top. They're the top. They're numero uno in education. Right? People thought that actually, you know, in America, you're like fourth or fifth. Right. I'm giving you a compliment.
Depends where you go.
Right. But then they're not playing. Right, because your whole thing is, culture is centered on knowing that. You know, but then, okay, so my applying myself to anything I like will be in the same area. That's why you would see them Koreans, when they take off with the culture. Right, with the dancing, and they killing it. You had the Chinese people, I was watching this on, I think they were doing the James Brown.
Like, get off of that funk. Like,
Yeah, close. And they was killing the dance.
I was like this? Like,
yeah, okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, I call
I
that.
tried to do the James Brown dance, but you know, I can't, you know, like, my legs is big.
I got you, man. I got you, man.
I wanted to add on, because we're talking a lot about like language.
Uh-huh.
We're going to go into like what people are attracted to. That also goes into like language learning, where you have to find something that you're familiar with and something that you actually like and try to like learn about it. I'm saying, 'cause that's what's going to give you the drive and the push. I'm saying, so to break past those language barriers and to teach other people from other parts of the world, we have to not only know what they're saying and like, but also know like their culture. I'm saying, like the things that comprise it, and learn the language is the gateway into that. I'm saying, because like when we talk about Japanese, there's a lot of kanji in it. I'm saying, so knowing the root of the kanji, how it was constructed, like what it came from, right? Like Hito means person. I'm saying, which refers to like either man, woman, or child. I'm saying, but like the first iterations of Hito look like a person that was standing up. I'm saying, so it all stems from like the way we express ourselves and interact with other people. I'm saying, so just trying to see where we can correlate and come together on that. Like what's the relationship with it? I'm saying.
Okay, just want to show you this real quick. This is what I was talking about. You might have seen it, you might not know. Hold up.
Oh, yeah, I seen this one.
Yeah, right.
I seen that one before. Right, yeah. I don't know how I shouldn't say we don't realize shit. I don't know how much we realize, like, how we be, how unique that is in the world. Nobody else is like us. Nobody else move like us, even think like us, or just sit. Like that's why the whole. That's why like hip hop, it ain't even really a thing there. It's just a way that you be, right? Like it's just. I mean, yeah, there's a dancing thing, there's a rapping thing there, but basically it's a whole, and people want to be that. And it's like on the 85 level, but it's a level of people want to be the God. You see what I'm saying? Like they wanna be like the black man. But on the on the hip hop is the closest they can come to it. We strive to take it to another level.
Okay, you definitely got one thing. Definitely, you correct. Whoever we are, and I'm not black people. Period. Well, I'm gonna say black people. Yes. Everything we do, even going back, unfortunately, our unfortunate journey here, we unfortunately made $1 billion industry out of soul food when its root comes from slavery. But we, the way you walk, the way the guy wearing his hoodie. I'm just putting my hoodie on, going to the store, but the way you walk with it, the way you you have to vote. I'm gonna do that. You know what I mean? And your dance style, like the way they were dancing, that's us. But they took it and just ran with it. Okay, I'm not mad at you, because in their sense, you're not really robbing it, But here's my point: is the most sought after style and swag, but you're the most despised also. Right? You know what I mean? Like I like the way you walk. I like your music. I like your athleticism. I like everything about you. About that. Except for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wish it wasn't you to have.
Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah. But everything you do, the way you speak. You know what I mean? Yes, my name is Mr. Johnson. Now, you got some people that speak, they articulate themselves well. I'm not going to say right, because you speak and you use polysyllabic terminology don't mean you right. It just means you sound intelligent, right? But if you listen, you would have thought. Now, until you hear us speak, you kind of get, But everything about it, Jessica, I agree. We have a natural swag the way we do what we do. The most sought after. You know what I mean? And remote sections of the world. Right. The way everything you do, it's taken. You know what I mean? And I'm sorry to keep going. And I mean, talking about that, and I conclude. Our pattern companies were created, to if you have an idea, we patent it so that you can. This is only the God's idea. Like nobody can take from that. We patent it. That's it, right? But a lot of these companies. In this book called Black People Invented Everything. Some of these companies were created because of how rapidly we were creating things, right? And so these companies were created just to take from you. Now, some people will listen to this and say, that sounds ludicrous, because we're talking 24th century now, there's mad ideas, other people, the whites who have ideas, whatever, but if it wasn't for us digging up the truth that crushed the earth, we'd have never known about, again, going back to my bill, that Lewis Latimer was the one with the filament inside the light bulb. Edison did the light bulb, but you wouldn't be able to have the light without him. And all these other plethora and significant amount of inventions. But they created, because I'm going to steal them from you. Hey, take the $70, nigga. You know what I mean? And you good. Then I don't find until later on that, when the street light was Gary C. G. Morgan, the Eli Whitney did the cotton gin, and this one did this and this, whatever. You know what I mean? Just that whole Betty Boo was a black woman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was kind of recently messed up with that one until I looked and seen the black woman singing boop boop be doo.
Yeah.
I said, okay. So then they patent that. But now we say that, they look at us like, okay, you just, reverse racism, but that's whole nother dynamic, which it doesn't exist. But yes, but our swag is universal. Everybody and their mother wants what you have. In fact, this one here, I mean, when they see this one, they're like, what are you talking about? There's nothing with, depending on the nature of why you want to augment parts of your body. But because our people are endowed, especially our women as well, you know what I mean? You got people running around the world, going to different parts of the country. Let me get this butt for 300. Let me get this chest for so and so. Let me pull my cheeks up, my lips out, whatever. Da 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 da. You know what I mean? Yeah, on the whole nine. Right. You know, you got our own people losing their minds over these what do you call it? Brazilian butt lips and all this. Yeah. They taking those things to a whole nother level. But you know. Let me go before I have these women knocking on my door talking about, yeah, what are you talking about? You hater.
And who's the true hater? You want to think about it. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, we all have we all have how we came. You know what I'm saying? Like the way we was brought up, the things that we had, like whether it was like our physical bodies or the things that we have from our parents. But if we're not able to embrace those things and accept those things, how can we ever get things that are better than we had originally? You know what I'm saying? Like we're not able to see the things that we have now, so of course we won't be able to see anything in the future. I'm saying we're not even dealing with the present.
So talk about appreciation. If you don't appreciate your own, how can you appreciate something else?
Exactly.
Peace, God. Peace.
Okay.
You must do your own research, as I did.
If Mecca did this.